Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about how to create a blank 2D array. Hope the idea was clear. Now in this video, we are going to see how to insert a value in 2D array. Now let's say this is our 2D array having 3 rows and 6 columns. Now inserting a value in 2D array is exactly same as how do we insert a value in 1D array. That is, we just give the cell number and we insert a value. So let's say this cell number, if we want to insert a value 10, then all that we have to do is we have to say ARR, which is the array name, row number 1, column number 1. Similarly, if we want to insert, let's say 30 over here, then we'll say ARR, row number 2, column number 3. So you see that the way we insert a value in 2D array is exactly same as 1D array. The only exception is that we have to give one extra braces over here, and that is because we have to give the row number. Now let's see how does the algorithm of this operation looks like. So the algorithm is extremely simple. The name of the method is insert. It takes the array as an argument, value to be inserted, and the row number where do we want to insert, and the column number. So we say here if array row number and column number, if that cell is already occupied, then throw an error saying that it is already occupied. Else we insert a value in that row and column cell. Now one important thing to note here is that this is not a standard process here, that if there is any value in an array, we cannot override it and throw an error. We can always override it, but in my case I have assumed that we will not override any existing value to make the things simpler. But when you are doing your testing and doing your Java code, please implement it in both the ways. Fine, now let's see what is the time complexity of this operation. So checking if the cell number of a given array is blank or not, it is an order 1 operation because we did not go through all the cells in the array. Returning an error is again a constant time operation, else is a constant time operation, and inserting a value in a given cell is again a constant time operation. So when we sum up all these 4, we get order of 1. Now the space complexity is order of 1, and the reason is we might need a temporary variable, but that will not be in proportion to the size of the 2D array. Now that is all about inserting a value in a 2D array. Now let's go to the next operation. Now the next operation is traversal of a 2D array. Now what we mean by when we say traversal? Traversal means visiting each and every cell of the array. So let's say this is the array given to us having 3 rows and 6 columns. So traversing this array means we go to each and every cells and read the value of it. So first we read 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and so on. So again this operation is exactly same as 1D array, so we'll not explain it in more details. Let's see what is the algorithm for this. So the algorithm is extremely simple. The name of the method is traverse array. It takes the array as an argument, and there are 2 loops. Loop number 1 is for the rows and loop number 2 is for the columns. So we start with row number 0 and we traverse through all the columns, keep printing all the cell values. Then we go to row number 1 and visit all the columns in row number 1 and print the values. Finally, we'll go to row number 2, visit all the columns there and print the values. So, okay, so now I hope that this is clear. We'll move to the time complexity of this operation. So looping through all the rows will take order of m times. M is nothing but the number of rows, and looping through all the columns will take n time. N is nothing but the number of columns. Now since for each row, let's say row 0, we have to travel all the n columns. Similarly, for row number 1, we have to travel all the columns. Row number 2, we have to again travel all the columns. So we see that the column has been accessed 3 times, which is exactly same as the number of rows, which is 3. So the time complexity becomes 3 times n. And what is 3 over here? It is number of rows, which is denoted by m. So the complexity becomes m into n. So we write m into n over here. Now what is the space complexity? It will be order of 1, because we might need some temporary variables, but we don't need any extra space which is proportion to the size of the array. Okay, so that is all for traversal operation. Now let's see the next operation, which is accessing a given cell. So as you would have already guessed that accessing a given cell's value is nothing but visiting a given cell and returning the value in that cell. So let's say if we are saying we want to visit this guy, what that means is we return the value of this guy. So we say 90. If we visit this cell, we return 40. Fine. So let's see how does the algorithm looks like. Extremely simple. So the method name is accessing cell number, and it takes array as an argument, row number and column number, and all it does is it returns the value contained in that row and column number. Now let's see what is the time complexity. Again, time complexity is very simple. It is just about returning a value in that row and column, so it is a constant operation. Hence, complexity of time is order 1. Similarly, space complexity will be order 1 because we are not using any extra space. Now let's see what is the next operation. So the next operation is searching a given value in 2D array. So similar to a 1D array, searching a given value is simple. So we start with row 0 and column number 0, which is this cell over here, and we keep going towards right in first row or the 0th row. If the value is found, then fine, we return, else we go to the next row and keep searching the value. If we find the value, we return, else we go to the third row and we keep searching for the value. If the value is not found, finally we return an error message saying that the value does not exist. So let's say if we want to find 40, so all that we have to do is we have to go here. Is it equal to 40? No. Is it equal to 40? No. Is it equal to 40? No. Is this equal to 40? Yes. So we return row number 0 and column number 3. Now let's say if we want to search value 90. So again we do the same thing. We start from row 0, column 0, that is 10. Is it equal? No. Is this equal? No. Is this equal? No. Is this 90? No. Is this 90? No. Is this 90? No. We go to row number 2. Is this 90? No. Is this 90? No. Is this 90? Yes. So we return row number 1 and column number 2. Now let's say if we want to search for value 100. So we again go through, start from row 0, column 0 and keep going towards right. In row 0 the value is not there. We go to row number 1, value is not there. Then we go to row number 2, value is not there. So we return a error message saying that 100 is not available in this array. Now let's see what is the algorithm looks like. So the algorithm is extremely simple. Name of the method is search in an array. It takes array as an argument and value to be searched. Then, like our previous example, it creates two loops, one for row and one for column. And then it starts visiting each and every cell, that is ARR row column, and compares it with the value that we are trying to search. If the value is found, then we print that row number and column and we return the method. Else, if we have visited all the cells in the array and the value is not found, in that case the control goes to this print statement which says value not found. Now let's see how does the space and time complexity for this algorithm looks like. So we have two loops over here, which is row and column, denoted by m and n. And within that we have few if and else condition and print conditions. So as we know that the if condition and the print condition, both of them are constant time operations, so all these things takes order one time. However, the outer loop will take order of m time because it needs to run the number of rows. Similarly, the inner loop will take n time because it needs to be run n number of times for each row. So the time complexity becomes m into n. Now remember, this is exactly same as traversing an array. So there also we had two loops with row and column and we multiplied it to arrive at the time complexity. So the time complexity becomes order of m into n. Space complexity as usual is order of 1. Reason is we only use some temporary variables for printing and miscellaneous work. Apart from that, we don't use any other extra space. Fine. Now let's see the last operation, which is deleting a value from an array. So deleting a value from a 2D array is exactly same as how do we delete a value in 1D array. So let's say if we want to delete this value 80 over here, all that we have to do is we have to say array row number 1 column number 1 is equal to integer dot mean value. Now in my case I have initialized all my cells by integer dot minimum value, which is minus 2 to the power 31. In case if you want to initialize by any other value like 0 or minus 1, you are welcome to do that. In that case you will say ARR 1 1 is equal to 0. So now let's see what is the algorithm looks like. So the algorithm is extremely simple. The name of the method is delete value from array. It takes array as an argument and the row number and column number from where the value needs to be deleted. Now then it says array row column is equal to integer dot minimum value. Now let's see what is the time complexity. Now as you would have already guessed, the time complexity of this operation is order 1 because it is just a replacement of a value in one of the cells and we did not travel through all the cells in the array. So time complexity is 1 and space complexity is also 1 because we are not using any extra space to do this operation. Fine. So in this video we have learnt what are the common operations that can be performed on a 2D array. Hope everything was clear. Now in the next video we are going to revisit all the time and space complexity of all the operations that we have performed on a 2D array. We need to do that so that we reinforce our learning and we don't forget it. So thanks for your time. See you in the next video.